I bought a used PlayStation 4 off of eBay for $85. Let's see if I can fix it. Alright, I got it plugged in. Want to note that this console has been opened. So we'll see what happens here when I turn it on. Alright, supposedly this console will freeze up and or reboot when in intense video. So I'm thinking potentially a hard drive, potentially it is dirty and needs cleaning. We'll open it up and find out soon. Got 500 gig. Running version 5.5, which is good. Let's put in a game, see what happens. Alright, looks like the game's installing fine. So far, no issues found. So to eliminate the hard drive, I am going to reformat the drive utilizing a fresh version of 6.72, and then I'll open it up, cleaning it up just to make sure that it's not overheating. But I believe this will potentially fix any issues. Let's find out. The initializing, yes. Now please note, this will completely erase your PlayStation 4. I only recommend doing this if you do not want to lose anything that you have on your device. Alright, it should reboot and we should now be in version 6.72. Okay, now it's installing the information that's on the USB drive. We'll speed this up for you. Skip this real quick. I'm gonna fast forward all this part real quick. It's a very clean fan, so looks practically new. Heatsink looks clean as well. Give it a little once over, but definitely not dirty. So, something to notice when you're taking apart a PlayStation, they have these arrows indicating where they need to go. Let's see if I can get you a zoom in there. Bring it up a little bit closer to what I'm talking about. Let's see. There we go. These arrows point to the level. So it's like a level you gotta zoom out there. So you get the bottom level here, then one more level, arrows, you tighten it up, next level will be more arrows. So it's kind of a little cheat there to kind of remind you what holes need to be filled. Clean this thermal paste here. It seems relatively wet, so I believe somebody previously already replaced it, but I'm gonna go ahead and put a new amount. I want to eliminate all possibilities that thermal will cause this thing to reset per the eBay listing. Now granted, not all the time what people write is actually true. Could have been a corrupted hard drive that we fixed when we updated it. Could be that it needs a new hard drive. Hopefully it's that, and it's not that this APU is no bueno. But we'll find out. Alright, nothing fancy. I'm just going to use a little bit of MX thermal compound. I have the board out now. Just give it a quick little dusting. Give it a visual inspection. Everything else looks solid. I don't see anything out of the ordinary. Go ahead and plug in our fan. Very important. All right, let's button it up. Okay, let's turn it on. Hopefully it didn't break anything. So far, everything looks good. I'm gonna play a game off screen, kind of put it to the paces and see if it doesn't overheat. We'll get back to this video, either wrapping it up or troubleshooting some more. All right, let me zoom in here real quick. Alright, so the issue that's going on is not heating related. Fan heats up perfectly fine, no issue. One of these RAM chips, not sure which one, could be multiple, is not communicating correctly with the APU. Under heavy load, causes that error to pop up, crashes the application, sometimes crashes the whole system. So in order to properly fix this issue, you would either have to replace one and or all 8 of the RAM chips. If that doesn't solve it, then at that point, potential APU issue. Now I don't have 8 chips laying around to replace all of them, and it's a very complicated. These are BGA chips. They're very delicate, very easy to damage it. It does power on, it does work. Just sometimes it might require more than what it can handle as far as RAM's concerned, and crashes the app. Restart it, it's good to go again. So it's not a fix. Kind of know what's wrong with it. I can't fix it, so fortunately this one is not fixable. Maybe do a motherboard swap at some point, or maybe down the road put some good chips in it. I just don't know how to measure. Since there's no short, I don't know which one. If I knew potentially, like, I measured as far as temperature is concerned, and they were all giving me about 40 to 70 Celsius on idle. These two in the back were a little bit hotter, but it could be because of the shield kind of poking out here when I measured the temperatures. So I'm not quite sure if I could find out which one of these, if it was just one that was damaged, replace that one chip is easier of a task than to say, hey, just replace all 8 of them, because that's a lot of work, and I could potentially just destroy this motherboard while doing that. Not worth the fix, because it does boot up and you can't play games on it. If it's a very high demanding game, then it will crash out after a certain load. So it's like a partial fix. And the main issue that I thought it was heat related, but I honestly don't know what fixed it was. When the person assembled it originally, this shield, this heat shield, was like this prior to. So it was sandwiched below this shield. So I think these two brackets here were lifting it just a little bit to where these pads weren't making full contact on these chips, causing it to heat up a little bit. That's why it crashed after a couple minutes. About 20 minutes of use on any application, it would completely crash. So I thought maybe it was heat related, but I did test them. Nothing was hot to the touch, nothing was hot as far as just in general where you could say it was shorting out. Everything measured out fine. The fan is working fully. Done a lot of testing lately in the last couple of days, so it's definitely not a heat related issue. It is the data transfer. So the way the research I did was the communication, the connection between the RAM chip and the APU is failing. Could be due to a bad joint underneath one of these RAM chips. Potentially reflowing all of them could fix the issue. I'm not going to do it because it's risky. It could damage the chip. Like I said, I don't have the equipment to reflow these chips properly, and or swap the bad chip, or all chips in this case, since I don't know which one's bad. I don't have a donor board where I could say, hey, let's do a swap, 8 chips for 8 chips. Like I said, these are very delicate chips, very prone to getting damaged when you put heat to them. So I'm just going to leave it alone. It is booting up, it is working. It's not 100% stable, but it is a partially working PS4 that you can play games on it. I have been playing God of War on it throughout the couple days, and it has not been, I have been progressing maybe after 4 or 5 hours of usage in a very high demanding area where there's a lot of fights going on, a lot of things on the screen. It'll kick me out, and then at that point I just reset the system, get back in it, perfectly fine again. I can play for another couple hours. So it is partially working. Fortunately, the RAM's the issue on this one. I don't have the equipment to fix it, so I'm calling this one a no fix, but potentially it can be fixed, and currently it does boot up and play games, just that it sometimes resets itself. Remember, just because it's broken doesn't mean it's trash. See ya on the next one.